So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast with Posthuma. We're gonna ask them some questions today. I'm gonna start. So what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
Me and Kyle have been really good friends for like 10 plus years now, and we've always kind of had like the exact same wavelength musically. And so he just had some riffs, and we started playing them like right at the end of last year, I think, is when we started jamming. And then yeah, we quickly just like whipped up an EP in like a week. And then from there, the pandemic like it hit right then, so there was like not a possibility of shows or anything like that. But we just kind of kept it going, wrote some more songs, and yeah, it's fun. We just really kind of got a mutual love for just like screamo and like melodic hardcore, and yeah, it's just kind of all that stuff wrapped into one.
But yeah, what the name means is it was actually like Carson's old boss, I think.
Yeah, my old boss's last name was Posthuma, and I thought it was really cool. And this was like back in like 2014, 2015 when I worked for her, and I had it as a name for like a solo deal that I like a band that I was basically trying to put together. And I'd been doing some stuff with a friend of mine in Milwaukee named Ty Lebo, who's in a band called Car Crash Vacation. And we recorded like a 2-track demo in his bedroom, and then it just never really went anywhere after that. And so then we were looking at different names when we were first starting out, and I was just like, dude, this name's kind of cool. It means there's like various like scientific terms for it, I guess, but I think the meaning of it that we kind of derive from is like it's a name of like a scientific kingdom of like earthworms.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love earthworms.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why earthworms?
So I have an earthworm gym tattoo, actually. I fucking love earthworms. I think they're like the coolest bug. just because they're kind of cute too.
They are. Okay,
Yeah.
solid. That's interesting.
Especially close-up images.
Yeah.
So, congrats on your upcoming EP.
Thanks.
I'm trying to
Ruminating.
figure out how to ruminating.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Ruminating. Yeah.
Ruminating. Thank you. Sorry. How do you feel about the response to it to the people you've shown it to so far? Since at the time of recording, it isn't out.
So like, I don't want to jinx it, but like everything that I've heard from it so far from like musical friends and stuff has just been really positive. It's kind of the summation of everything I've ever wanted to make musically, and I've been in bands for like 10 plus years, 13 years now, since like 2006, 2007, and I've never really been in a band like this before. So it's like the music that I really want to make, but I also think it's the first time that we've gotten like, or that I've gotten like an end product that I'm 100% satisfied with, that I wouldn't really change anything on. So, yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, we've shown it to some close friends. Kyle's got some like internet friends that he's shown it to as well, who've really dug it. And yeah, I mean, knock on wood, but I think the release will go really well.
All right. So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for the EP?
Yeah, so essentially, I just would roll up with like pretty much full songs written, if not like almost written, and we jam them with our drummer, who is sadly not here with us right now. But what happens is we'll play them, and then it goes through like the Carson siphon, and he'll pretty much be like, yo, I like this, or we should try doing something like this. And we have like a really solid stream of communication. So quite quickly I can kind of understand what he's saying I should do. And it's pretty much how that whole EP worked for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think me and him kind of have like one brain musically for this project, and just artistically in general. I think we like are able to like put checks and balances on each other's ideas, where it's not like we're walking on each other's like feet, and we also just have like the exact same like influences, so it's not a process where we have to like be fighting for what we want the band to sound like. We want the band to sound really good and like, you know, the stuff we listen to. So or grew up listening to. And it really works out in our favor, I think, for the writing process, because it's just really easy. You know, we're able to like write songs and have them like ready within like, you know, days, if not like a week of like, you know, the conception, if we really like put our nose to the grindstone with it. So yeah, I mean, we have like a whole EP or a whole LP like written to follow this up with. And it just really fucking sucks that we can't play shows right now. Like we're gonna try and do an EP release show of some kind, hopefully like around Halloween.
Live stream.
But that's just, you know, it's getting everybody on the same board. And we were actually going to do it like the week of release, but our video guy is on COVID quarantine right now. So
no.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That sucks. Sorry. So, where's your headspace while creating this EP?
Well, for me personally, just like writing it, I tried to write it a lot more like direct than like what I normally write. I'm traditionally like really influenced by like vocally and lyrically by like, you know, people like Keith Buckley or like Daryl Palumbo, like from Glassjaw and Every Time I Die, where, you know, everything's kind of tongue in cheek. But with this record, I just tried to be a lot more direct with it in what I was writing about. You know, from some different perspectives other than my own on this one, and I think that kind of allowed me to like experiment more with the type of like wordplay I use, and then just like musically, you know, I think like me and Kyle's like favorite record from like the last 10 years is probably, I mean, I think for me personally, and Kyle's, it's definitely in his top 3, I would say, is the self-titled record by Decoder / Lead Hands, which is a very like obscure like super group that was from like 2010 to like 2011 on Rise Records. And I think we've always wanted to like get that sort of sound, but like heavier, and that kind of is where we went into it. And we are also listening to a lot of the band Holy Fawn. When we first started this band, they're like a newer band, but they're really awesome, and you know, I think that inspired the instrumentals a lot. You know, we have like really fast, like blast beat, you know, sort of traditional screamo parts, but then I think there's a lot of you know, really like weird ambient sections too that round it out and make it, you know, a little bit more diverse and unique. I don't know, Kyle, if you want to speak any more on that.
Yeah. I mean, we pretty much just wrote like what we've been wanting to write for years. I mean, it was pretty much as cut and dry as that. It felt pretty natural. So.
All right.
Solid.
So you guys did touch on it a bit, but if you want to go a little bit more in depth, what band or artist influences do you think you can hear the most on the CP?
Yeah, all right. Well, I don't know. Honestly, I've heard like a lot of Touche Amore, which like, or is it Amore? But I don't know. Honestly, that was kind of a surprise to me. I to be honest, like for me, it's kind of hard to group it into something. But I'd say anywhere from like Touche to maybe like Miss Siggs and like kind of like classic screamo stuff, and maybe even like some metalcore elements in between. And Carson might have like a little bit more on that.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Rick Soul from the band here in Madison, No Love Dog, he called it like a blend of like metalcore and screamo, and I think that's probably like what I would say it's gonna, you know, come off the most as. But like as far as influences go, like vocally, I mean, for me, I was always like, I always done hardcore bands and harsh vocals, but I've never really done anything that has like the high pitched kind of like screechy vocals that like this record has. And so I think you can hear a lot of like, I mean, for me, the first band that like really resonated that had that kind of like vocals and stuff was like probably like Deaf Heaven and Envy. Like I was listening to a lot of that around like 2012. I mean, everybody got into Deaf Heaven when Sunbather dropped, but that record was like pretty crucial for me to enjoy, that like higher pitched like screaming and stuff, and then like State Faults and stuff. And I think too, you can sort of hear, because we sent it to, we're both like really big fans of Shin Guard. When they dropped like 2020 last year and stuff, so when we were going to mix it, like the whole time we started this project, I wanted to have Owen Trainer from Shin Guard mix it, because I had been talking to him about mixing another project last year. So when we sent it to him for mixing, and when he sent it back to us, I mean, the original mixes didn't really sound anything like the final mixes do, and so I think you can really kind of hear just like his individual like sort of take on the music. I think it really contributed to the final product a lot. So yeah, we're really stoked on how it turned out, like as far as that goes. So I think you can hear kind of some of those similar production qualities to, some of the stuff that he's mixed and mastered in the past, and in our stuff too.
All right. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Also, we're both really
so
big
cool.
Converge fans too. Yeah, it is super cool. We're super stoked on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Congrats on that. So
Thanks.
this one should go like super, super fast. I want you to describe this EP in 3 words.
That's you. That's you.
Well, both of you have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those can be the 3 words.
Wonderful.
Austin Powers and Shrek.
Okay.
That's 4, but I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide.
Well, and Austin Powers / Shrek. No, I don't know. Atmospheric, depressing, and I'm really
One
struggling
more.
on this one.
You're the
Or-
word guy. Atmospheric, depressing, poggers.
Poggers.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's poggers.
That's the best one. Poggers.
Oh, the record is
God.
very poggers.
It's extremely poggers.
Extremely. You're using it well. Good job.
You're using it well, yes. So
I'm
is there a
sorry. We're
certain,
too old.
is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while listening through this EP?
For me, it's extremely cathartic, and I think, I mean, like, I get catharsis from, like, really, like, personal, emotional music, so I think that that's kind of just what I was trying to convey with this record. It's just, like, a really personal, like, if you can, like, feel something, like, if it makes you feel something, like, that's what I want. I want it to, like, just conjure some kind of emotion in you, because I don't know, like there's been a lot of records that I've listened to where it's just like you can't really place it. It's just like a really strong, you just get a really strong feeling when you listen to like certain riffs or like certain sections of it.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Solid. All right. So we know at the time of recording you haven't even like dropped this EP, but are there any new projects on the horizon? Are you guys writing anything? Album, EP? What are you doing?
Yeah, we're actually currently working on an LP right now, and
Mhm.
I have a lot of stuff cooking up for it. But my main goal was to get everything laid down before release, so I'm hoping to still get to that, which is next Tuesday. So hopefully that'll be at least very much so in the works by the time of release. and it sounds like very similar. Yet we're bringing in like a bit more mathy influences, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a little. I think the new stuff's gonna sound a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna have like more stuff going on. I think for sure. Like we'll probably both be doing some clean vocals, and we'll probably have probably have a little bit more dynamic sections. With this record, I think we were just like really like, because with our first EP, the one that's, I don't know if it's still on Bandcamp right now.
It is,
but we're gonna probably take it off. But we did that like in a week, and it was like the week that everything shut down.
Oh man.
And so we were like I mean, I remember that period. Like I locked myself in my apartment for fucking 3 months, like, and same with Kyle. Like we didn't really practice or anything. We like individually tracked everything, and it was really sloppy, and we didn't mix it or master it. I just was like, all right, I just put out the EP, and they're like, wait, are you for real? I'm like, yeah, it's on or the demo, it's on Bandcamp, and okay, well, so with that, and then with this, I think we were trying to refine that sound more, and I think with the next thing, we're just gonna like try and experiment in a lot of different other types of sounds, but like keep it, to that like core group of like 3 to 5 band influences,
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's crazy. All right.
So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years?
Well, I hope we're alive.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like a day by day thing. Currently with like everything going on, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully, like shows can happen with like the certainty that everyone's going to be okay and safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully, within the next 5 years, that's the thing.
Where do you guys see your podcast in the next 5 years?
Oh, do you want me to actually answer that, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I either want to be partnered with like a big radio company or something, like either Sirius XM or iHeartMedia, iHeartMedia, one of those, or have our own type thing, alt press and like rock sound.
Mm-hmm.
I basically want to get to that level and be able to like employ people to like do this and basically get as many people as we can in the spotlight and just kind of like have our own like company type.
We're gonna take over the fucking world in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. Where are y'all based out of?
I'm in New Jersey.
And I'm in Virginia.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nice. What's the scene like where y'all live? So Jersey is like pretty small, right? I mean, as far as like the actual like mass of the land, right?
Oh.
Yeah, there's not much here, but there's a shit ton of bands and
Oh my
whatnot.
God.
The scene is
So many
massive.
bands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And there's like, I know 2 bands that are in Virginia because the scene here is like, from what I've seen at least, is like dry. There aren't like any bands that I've been able to find that I vibe with, I guess.
Yeah,
only like
sure.
2. Yeah. Or that we've spoken to at least.
I think we've only knowingly spoken to 2 Virginia bands.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
It is, yeah.
shit. We were, man. Like my other band was supposed to go out to like the East Coast like this summer, and I was really stoked because I wanted to go to like Jersey and New York because I've never been there before. And I mean, how far are you from like New York and everything like that?
I'm like an hour from New York, give or
Okay,
take,
wow.
and then like only like 5 minutes from the beach though, so I'm on the shore.
Hell yeah, that's super sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully in 5 years we're able to like get on the road and stuff, like, because we're both
Sooner.
like we're both old guys. Like, Kyle's 26, I'm 28, and like I feel like my shelf life as far as like a musical like full time, like or not even like full time, but like serious, like being able to go out and tour as a screamo artist, like we kind of have to like do it. It feels like we kind of have to do it now because like Kyle's never been in bands before. He's always been just a guitar player writing stuff, and I kind of was just like, yo, let's like fucking like make music for real. Let's take it seriously, like, you know, because we actually believe in the sound that we're making, even though it's like a lot more like, you know, it's not super accessible. But I think as far as like, if the Screamo kids like it, you know, if like the Screamo like diehards like it on like Reddit and stuff like that, and we're able to play, you know, a couple live streams and hopefully do a couple shows once shows come back in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You know, then hopefully then at that point, you know, we'll be satisfied with it, and we can either continue doing it or put a wrap on it and just be like happy with how it went.
The right answer is take over the world, though.
Yeah, take over the world.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah,
It'll be
very well done.
We'll talk in 5 years, and hopefully, you know, we'll have a world run by you know, by Posthuma and just podcasts in general. Honestly, I think podcasters already do kind of rule the world. I used to make, like, just last year I was like, man, like I listen to like occasional like podcasts if there's like an artist that I liked that was on it, but like as far as like comedy podcasts or like political podcasts or anything like that, like I was like, yeah, this shit's boring, I hate it. And next thing you know, like I feel like I've listened to everything musically on Spotify that there is, like through the pandemic, especially with 3 months off of work. So now it's like, well, shit, I guess I have to get into podcasts. The pandemic was great for podcasts.
It's all he does. He's always listening to podcasts.
Yeah, that's all I do now.
Hell yeah.
As you should. My God. All right. So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Sick. So we're going to go to death row then.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Whoa. Wait. Say that
If
again.
you're on death row, what would your last meal be?
With a drink.
That's you first.
All right. So I'd probably have oh man, last meal.
It's such a hard decision.
I mean, so I would go with a Travis Scott meal. But instead of a drink, I would take like a large McDonald's cup filled with absinthe.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
So at least like when I go, like when I get the electric chair, I'll be just hammered off my ass, and it won't, you know, it won't register with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
Right.
sense.
Kyle?
I would have nothing. Just put me to sleep.
Okay.
Put me to sleep.
It's up to you. All right.
I don't want to sugarcoat it, you know?
Yeah. So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Okay. That's an easy one for me, but I'm gonna let Kyle answer here because he's just been a plank this whole fucking time.
These questions are not easy. Okay?
They're hard questions.
These are the questions that take a lifetime.
This
for
is
you.
This is Kyle's first podcast, I think.
Oh.
Most definitely. Yeah, a fantasy world. Carson, you got to go first. You already have an answer. Fair.
It's a tie between Shrek's like swamp. And dude, if I lived in Shrek's swamp, dude, I would be just in heaven. Everyone just leaves you alone, with the exception of like some townspeople coming with pitchforks and stuff. You can just like be left alone the whole time. Otherwise, I would say, we just recently watched Goldmember for my birthday, so I would say like Austin Powers, like 1970s, like Austin Powers. Like it is part of his posse. I just want to be part of his posse.
Yeah.
Ruby. Yeah, I'd probably say like the Futurama timeline. That'd be sick. I don't really know otherwise. That's all that can come to mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Good choice. All right. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said it's the most important question. What's your favorite color?
I mean, all we wear is really like black when we go out in public. So I would say like black is probably Like I like gold too. I'm all about I'm all about the drip. I'm all about the drip. I think we're like what we're trying to do is we're trying to really just make screamo sexy again. And so,
I respect
and
it.
So,
Okay.
and so like when shows come back, like we're gonna be iced out to the nines.
You should hold that man to this.
Okay. Yeah.
You should hold that man. I'd probably say green.
Ooh.
Though I also wear black only.
All right.
Same.
Solid. So as Goy said, that is all the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, posthuma.bandcamp.com. Posthuma on Spotify. Soon. It's on Spotify. I think you can pre-save, can't you?
You can pre-save.
Yeah, you pre-save that shit if it's before 10/20. Whereas we got 8 days till release. Shout out Billy May for doing our video. We've got like
everything.
So our debut for the EP will be on the Chillwave YouTube channel.
All right.
So and there's like there's like a virtual deal there or visual deal. Billy May did our video editing, and we used some home videos from his family childhoods. Shout
out Joe Stanton.
Joe Stanton did our cover artwork, and he does all of our he's done
photos.
He does all of our photos and stuff. Really
Bill
awesome
does too,
dude.
but
what's the name of the woman who designed our font, or I mean our logo?
Danny Jane.
Danny Jane.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having us on and giving us like some hype here, because we are just a no-name band from Madison, Wisconsin, making screamo music. Hope you like it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for sitting down with us, guys. It's been Posthuma, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.